No one delivers more exclusive interviews with ATA executives than CBT News. CBT News, dealers' #1 source for auto industry news, content, coaching, and analysis.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me on the show this morning. Are you making follow-up harder than it needs to be? I know I didn't like follow-up as a salesperson, but it is so essential to one's success in sales. So we're joined today by Matt Easton, who is the founder of Easton University Sales Coaching, and about to show you a great game-changing way to simplify your follow-up so you can close more deals faster. That's the name of the game, and really with less effort. So Matt, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Very much appreciate it. And I know that you've got the attention of every salesperson out there, because if you have a quicker, faster, easier way for follow-up, I want to know what it is. And obviously you got the phone right there. So what I'll let you take it from there.
Love, hate. If you're anything like Jim, if you're anything like me, if you work in sales in any shape or form, whether you're a business owner, whether you're just trying to get deals done, we've got a love-hate relationship with that thing, the phone, right? Here's the problem, all right? And nobody's talked about this, and I lay in bed at night, guys, thinking about this kind of stuff so you don't have to. And this is what we've discovered at Easton University is when it comes to follow-up, we're just way too vague, right? It's like, hey, you need to do more follow-up or you're going to lose your job. I need to do more follow-up or I'm going to lose my business. Well, nobody thinks, what exactly is follow-up? So Here's what I want to do to make it easier. Hi, my new best friend, you on the other side of the screen there. I want to make it easier for you. I'm going to talk about there's 3 different things in follow-up that we've never really identified, 3 different types of follow-up that we have to do. And I'm going to give you a simple recipe for each one of those. Is that okay, Jim? Is that all right with you?
Absolutely. We want to hear it.
Okay, perfect. The first type of follow-up, when they say you got to make more follow-up calls that nobody talks about, what are these types? The first type is when a lead comes in to your business and you have not had a conversation with them. So you've never connected with this person.
Right.
All right. The first recipe that I want to give you for that instance, an inbound lead, is how to start that conversation skillfully.
Right.
What I don't want you to do is use the F word. I'm just following up. I don't want you to use the C word. I'm just checking in. What I want you to do is I want you to start that conversation from a level of authority and credibility. Okay. That's going to sound like this. Wanted to reach out to you personally to make sure my people got you all the information you needed, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, Jim, Matt Easton over here at Easton Co. Wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all the information you needed. Mm-hmm. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to bring you up to a really high level of authority. Mm-hmm. Don't lie about your title if you're not the business owner. Yeah. If you are the business owner, still say the same thing, whether you're at the bottom or the top. We all have people. Right. And when you say, I wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all the information you needed. Every single person you call will say the same thing. Thank you. And then you're going to say, my pleasure. What can I get you information on? Mm-hmm. Now you're into a skillful conversation with that new lead you've never had a conversation with before. Does that make sense, Jim?
It does.
When we follow up or check in, they tend to push back and say, not a good time. I'm stepping into a meeting. I'm donating a kidney. I'm getting ready to go into space, right? But when you say, I wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all the information you needed, suddenly they want to talk because they feel like they're talking to somebody at the top.
Right.
The next instance number 2 of 3, in terms of follow-up, where we can be more skillful, is when you've already had a conversation with somebody, Jim. Right. You've already talked to them. You need them to buy something. You need them to place an order. You need them to do something, come into your store, come into your dealership. Instead of, again, following up, checking in, what I want you to do if you're on eastonuniversity.com and you're NSO, Next Step Obsessed, and you set a next step, you can use these 2 beautiful words, as promised. If you didn't set a next step, just remove the as promised. But all I need you to do instead of following up or checking in is say, hey, Jim, Matt Easton here at Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to, and then fill in the blank. Come into the store and take a look. Sign the contract. Order the XYZ or ABC. You don't need to follow up or check in. Just ask them if it makes sense to blank. So if you have a bunch of people in your pipeline that you want them to do something, let's say place their order, just call every single one of them and say, hey, Jim, Matt Easton over here at Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to place your order. Full stop. Okay. If it's a voicemail, hey, Jim, Matt Easton over here at Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to place your order. I'm on my mobile, 720-660-3202. You can give my mobile out to everybody. I need friends. That's my mobile, guys. But that's what I want you to do when you need somebody to do something. That's number 2. Call in to see if it makes sense to blank.
Right.
Don't follow up. Don't check in. All right. The last one. And this one I should keep a secret because it is so powerful. And literally, you guys should pay me for free therapy on this one, Jim. One of the most frustrating parts of sales is when somebody tells us they're going to do something and they don't do it. They haven't signed the contract. They haven't gone online and placed their order. They haven't uploaded their whatever statements. When you have somebody that said they were going to do something and they haven't done it yet, instead of following up, checking in, notice there's a theme here. Those are bad to say. And then this terrible one, the Q word. This Q word starts with Q, ends with questions. When you say, do you have any questions? It's literally like pulling the pin on a hand grenade and sitting on it and waiting to feel your deal blow up beneath your tuckish there. It's terrible because when I say, hey, Jim, just calling to see if you had any questions on the purchase agreement, of course Jim is going to have questions.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When people don't do the thing you wanted them to do, okay, sign the purchase agreement, fill out the paperwork, upload their statements, it's typically not because they have questions. It's typically not because you haven't followed up. It's typically not because you haven't checked in. It's because they're lazy. Mm-hmm. People are lazy and they don't get around to doing the things that they promised you to do.
That's right.
So say I'm just following up or checking in, or do you have any questions? It just muddies the water. Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do in those instances, let's say Jim has a contract in front of him. I'm waiting for him to sign it on DocuSign. Yep. I'm just call Jim and say, hey, Jim, Matt Easton over here at Easton University, wanted to make sure that you had the link to execute the contract on the order. I'm going to send it to you now. And I'm on my mobile, 720-660-3202. I'm not saying I'm going to send it to you again because that can seem combative or passive aggressive. Yeah. I'm going to send it to you now. Maybe it could be something as simple as wanted to make sure you had directions to our location. Mm-hmm. I'm going to text them to you now. And I'm on my mobile, 720-660-3202. Somebody's late, an hour late. Wanted to make sure you had the directions to our store. I'm going to text them to you now, and I'm on my mobile. And then give them their mobile. When you stay focused on what they needed to do, suddenly they'll be like, oh, yeah, I needed those directions, or I didn't have that link. And they'll go ahead and do the thing you wanted them to do. Show up, fill out the paperwork, sign the contract. When you ask them if they have questions, they'll make stuff up.
Yeah. I totally agree. And you're exactly right. Buyers and shoppers are lazy and they need that. You know, they really are almost counting on you to follow up with them at some level, right?
Correct. Like if my son has a homework assignment, let's say it's a written essay, and I knock on his door and go, hey, Anderson, I'm just seeing if you had any questions. I'm just following up to see if you're going to do your homework. I'm going to get bombarded with a whole host of reasons why he can't do his homework. Right. But if I simply just open the door and say, hey, wanted to make sure you had a pen and a paper to do your essay. Right. He'll go, oh, yeah, Dad, I needed that. Thank you. And he'll start doing his homework. Right. Focus on the thing that they need to do the thing, and you're golden. And then if it's a new lead, come in with authority and credibility. I wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all the information you needed. Wow, thanks. Right. And if you need them to do something, instead of following up or checking in, just say, hey, calling to see if it makes sense to blank. Visit the store, place your order, bring your spouse by, whatever it is you need them to do, just ask them if it makes sense to do it.
Sure. You know what I like about this, Matt, is that you're jumping right in with the purpose of the call. Many trainers out there and consultants will tell you that when you call, the first question you should ask them is this an okay time? Or are you tied up right now? Or do you have a minute to talk? I noticed that in this, what I liked about it is you got right into it, because oftentimes you're giving that person the out. So when they go, actually, it's not a good time. Can you give me a call tomorrow? And then you're like, why did I ask that question, right?
100%, Jim. It's just opening yourself up to again, sit on hand grenades. It's not fun. It's
right.
It's basically the same thing as you remember the last time you were on vacation with your beautiful wife. You jump in the pool, okay? You're soaking wet, you're in the pool. Nobody swims up to you and goes, hey, do you want to swim? We're already in the pool. We're already talking. They already answered their phone.
Right.
There is no point in saying, is this a good time to talk?
Right.
We're in the pool. We're wet. Let's swim, right?
Yeah.
Calling to see if it, wanted to make sure my people got you all the, calling to see if it makes sense. Wanted to make sure you had the link. Jump right in, guys.
That's right.
People are lazy. People are distracted. And if you give them an out by saying, is this a good time? They'll always say no.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. These are great tips for all salespeople, small business owners, and alike. So this is good stuff. Matt Easton, sales coach, founder of Easton University. Folks, check him out online. This is a guy that can literally take your business to the next level. And he's done it for so many businesses, so many sales professionals, whether you're in real estate, you're selling cars, whatever the case might be. If you want to turn it up in 2025, this is a great person to have on your side that can literally show you the way forward in sales. And I mean that. We've had him on now for so many segments, and they're among the most watched segments on our broadcast. So Matt Easton, thank you so much. Sales coach, founder of Easton University.
Thank you, Jim. Huge fan of the network. I love you guys. You're great. Whatever I can do, deal me in.
Great. Awesome. I can't wait till the next time. Thanks.